Hey, good morning. It's Uncle Lou here. Yeah, that's right. It's me, Uncle Lou, live for you on LouTube today. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. ACC week wrapping up today here on LouTube. We're dedicating a full week to all 5 of the major conferences here on LouTube. Last week we did the Big 12. Link right up here if you want to check that out. This week the ACC. Next week we'll move on to a 3rd conference and then a 4th and a 5th. 5 videos, 5 conferences, 5 videos a week, 5 conferences. So this will take us about 5 weeks to do. Now, generally speaking, these aren't like game prediction videos or season record prediction videos or anything like that. They're more like overarching storylines, I guess, relevant to each of the 5 conferences. But you know what I've really been missing here on LouTube lately? And I don't really know what got me thinking about this, but you know, what are we, 5 months out from college football season now? And, you know, I've been doing a lot of these style of videos. And I like doing these style of videos, these sort of breakdowns, X's and O's, talking about different players from different teams. Sort of more straight-laced type videos. But I really miss, like, those old school, like, during the season, reaction, pacing back and forth, holding the phone and yelling into it or cracking jokes. So you guys know what I'm talking like this. He's the best college football player in America.
Oh, he won't be able to do that in the NFL, Lou. He won't be able to, he won't be able to pound first downs out in the NFL. Hey, Penn State's a college team. Listen, nobody cares what he's going to do in the NFL on Sundays. They ain't got nothing to do. They didn't have anything to do with that beating they put on Michigan last night, did it? Michigan. Man. Talk about needing a refund or wanting a refund. These idiots at Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, those are some of my favorite videos, and they're easier to make, honestly, than these videos here. There's a lot less post-production work and editing work and stuff like that to do on those type of videos than there is on these. But without there being any football to play, there's just not a whole lot of reason to make those type of videos. But anyway, what I decided I would do is sort of do both of those videos here on this last ACC video. So you'll have me sitting here, and of course you already know by the title of the video, but what we're going to talk about today, Miami's not winning the 2018 ACC title, therefore not making the college football playoff. I mean, I don't think I'm telling most of you anything you don't already know. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to, you know, reasonably, rationally, and calmly explain some reasons why they're not going to do those 2 things. But then if I feel like it, I may jump up and wander around and yell and scream into the phone, old school style, just because I'm missing it, to be honest. I'm like a junkie with an itch, and it's time to scratch it. Anyway, here we go. The Miami Hurricanes are not winning the ACC in 2018. Let's do it.
You're a good guy. He's a good guy. I would want my kid to play there. All this bull crap that you hear. He's a good Christian guy. Jesus Christ didn't play football for a reason.
Okay, so why isn't Miami making the playoffs in 2018 or winning the ACC in 2018? You have to start with the quarterback position. And yes, I know that there are some Miami fans, and this may be true, who think that the quarterback position is sort of up for grabs this year. But last year, you play Malik Rozier, is that his name, or Malik Rozier? Completes about 50% of his passes, throws way too many interceptions, right? What did he have? Like 17, 18 interceptions, something like that. But he is the returning starter on a team that won the division last year. So going to be hard to bench him, I think, this year. He did get benched one time last year in the 4th quarter of a game, but he was the starter and played quarterback for the majority of the season for the Miami Hurricanes. But I just don't think that he's a good enough quarterback given what else is around him on the offense. I don't think he is going to take you to an ACC title. I don't think he's good enough to lead that Miami offense to an ACC title or a playoff berth.
Malik Rozier. Way to do straight garbage, ain't he? This man threw almost more interceptions than he did touchdowns last year. What do you have, 25 or 26 touchdowns? 17 or 18 interceptions, something like that. Barely completes half his passes. You ain't winning no ACC title with him, are you? I don't think so. Hey, the only good thing you can say, here's one good thing you can say about Malik Rozier, though. Seriously. He did have a lot of comeback wins last year. A lot of close fourth quarter, one possession wins last year, didn't he? Because Miami was barely beating all these sorry teams they played. Georgia Tech. What did North Carolina win? One ACC game? They had Miami beating the fourth quarter. But Malik Rozier was able to hold them off, wasn't he? He didn't come back against Pitt in the fourth quarter, though, did he? Oh, you know why? Mark Richt took him out. This guy, Malik Rozier, done led the Miami Hurricanes to all kinds of fourth quarter wins all year. Miracle one-possession wins against terrible teams in the fourth quarter. Malik Rozier did all year. You go on the road and play Pittsburgh. It's the fourth quarter. You're only down by 10. Mark Richt takes him out of the game. Puts in some guy, Evan Sheriffs. What's his name? Evan Sheriffs? Huh? Hey, Pitt shot the sheriff, and Pitt won.
And then you take a look at their schedule here, and you try to see, is there a path for them somehow back to at least the ACC title game? And realistically thinking, when you look at this schedule, it is possible. I can see a scenario under which Miami wins the division again for a return trip to the ACC title game. I can also see a scenario where maybe they come up a game short. Now, the first game of the year obviously is not going to count towards whether or not they actually make the ACC title game. However, should they finish the season 12 and 11 with one loss, let's say, but still win their division and then lose a close game in the ACC title game, week 1 could be a game that the committee looks at to see, okay, should we put a non-conference champion into the playoffs? Say Miami were to lose to Clemson by a touchdown or less, and that was their only loss or only their second loss. I could see a scenario where that first game becomes really important. Let's be realistic, though. Mark Richt has struggled in quote-unquote big games over the course of his career. Now, that LSU game, in terms of coaching, I'm not a fan of Ed Orgeron, so I can't really see a scenario here in which Mark Richt would get out-coached, but that is going to be a very interesting game to keep an eye on week 1. Obviously, Florida State is always a huge game for Miami, one of the biggest rivalries in college football. Miami won this game last year for the first time in several years. Florida State with a new coach, sort of I don't want to say rebuilding, they're loaded with talent, but sort of retooling, especially the offensive game plan there in Tallahassee. That's an interesting game to keep an eye on. You look at Virginia Tech at the end of the year. Virginia Tech, third or fourth year now with Justin Fuentes as coach, had a good year last year, a lot of returning talent there, and Miami does have to go on the road and play that game towards the end of the season. So I don't necessarily think Miami is a lock to win this division like they did last year. I also don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that they do repeat as division champions. It's going to be interesting to see if Miami can avoid a stumbling block like last year's Pitt game this year, because I can also see a scenario in which Miami can't afford to lose a game they're not supposed to lose this year. I think it's possible Miami could lose to Florida State or Virginia Tech, possibly even both, and still win the division, but not if they were to lose a third ACC game to one of these other teams, which, just be realistic, they'll be favored or should be favored to beat everyone else. And they may even be favored over Florida State and Virginia Tech. We'll have to see where those teams are at when that point in the season comes around. But I can see a scenario where they lose to Florida State and Virginia Tech and still win the division, but not if they have another unexplainable loss like they did to Pitt last year.
Listen, Uncle Lou! Miami's not winning the division, okay? What have I been telling you? I've been telling Miami fans this since you guys hired Mark Richt. None of you wanted to hear it, but listen, I told you, like in regards to Florida State, okay, talking about this schedule. In regards to Florida State, what have I been telling you since you hired Mark Richt? You'll beat Florida State once every 4 or 5 years. But in the years that you beat Florida State, you'll have some other meaningless loss during the regular season to some crappy 500 team that'll cost you. Or even if you win the division, you'll lose in the ACC. I have been telling you that. And what happened last year? That's exactly what happened. Okay? That's exactly what happened. Now, week 1, LSU, a neutral site game, one of these kickoff classic type games against LSU. Listen, is Miami less talented, as talented, or more talented than LSU? If I had to choose one of those three, I would probably say they're pretty equal in talent. That's probably what I would say. Mark Richt's lucky in this game because Ed Orgeron doesn't know what the hell he's doing. So it's unlikely that Mark Richt's going to get out-coached in this game. So I'll give Miami credit for that. It's unlikely Ed Orgeron's going to outcoach Mark Richt. My question heading into this game is going to be motivation, preparation, and intensity and excitement level for Miami. Mark Richt is one of these guys who thinks there's no such thing as a big game. There is no such thing as a big game for Mark Richt. Every game is the same. Watch one of his post-game press conferences. Another thing I've been telling you Cane fans about forever. Well, watch one of his press conferences. You can't tell whether Miami won, lost, the game was canceled. There's no difference. The guy walks in with the same stone-faced look on his face, no emotion, no personality. Losing doesn't bother him. Listen! A team takes on the mentality of its coach. Okay? A team takes on the mentality of its coach. And this laissez-faire, this come see, come saw attitude, you'll have to Google that if you're a South Carolina fan because you won't know what the hell it means. But that attitude trickles down. It's like Ronald Reagan trickle-down economics even. Don't even bother Googling that, Carolina fans, because even if you Google that and read up on it, you still won't be able to understand it. But listen, the point is, Miami should win that game at LSU, but this will be the type of game where Miami gets off the bus and doesn't care one way or the other. Oh, it's not even a conference game, and go out and crap the bed. I could 100% see that happening. End of the season at Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech is a team that's probably not quite as talented as Miami. However, Justin Fuentes, a young up-and-coming coach. I like Justin Fuentes a lot. This would be the game I could see Mark Richt getting out-coached in and losing. This is the one. And then, of course, you're going to have one game. Pick any of the other games on the schedule that you want where you just don't show up and lose. But, let's just be real. You won the Coastal last year for the first time. You're probably not winning the division this year. That's just the reality of the situation. I know that makes you mad, but Uncle Lou tells you this all the time. Get you some Q-tips, clean your ears out, whatever you need to do. Write this down if you have to. Record this video. Watch it every night before you go to sleep. Whatever. But just listen. Just because something makes you mad doesn't mean it ain't true.